Second Sight is a game developed by Free Radical for the PS2, Gamecube and Xbox. It released in 2004. That was a while ago now, actually. Yeah. The same developers as the Timesplitters series, which is a much-loved FPS series released by the same team. So they did Timesplitters, which and that also company they did GoldenEye and Gay GoldenEye. Anyway, it's not Gay GoldenEye, it's GoldenEye 64. You can really tell this was made by these people because of the music and the animations of the game. So yeah, it sounds like GoldenEye. The music sounds like GoldenEye, and the animations sound like the animations sound like Timesplitters. You can really tell this made good. I've already said that. Second Sight is not an FPS though, it is a third-person action game, which has some shooting aspects to it. You play as Vatic, a parapsychology researcher who works for... Starting off the game, you wake up in the facility and you wonder, how did I get... Ooh. You wake up with psychic abilities, which is the main mechanic of the game. Explaining the title, Second Sight, which is obviously meant because Second Sight is also another term for people with two eyes. You have abilities like telekinesis, which can be used in combat to throw your enemies around or throw objects at your enemies. Projection, which allows you to project an enemy, image of you that no one can see, so you can scout out the environment, as well as allowing you to flick switches. Charming. Allows you to become invisible. Healing. Heals you. Primarily, it encourages you to play stealthily, almost like a Splinter Cell with psychic abilities. Makes it more effective if you go in invisible and take out a security camera with your telekinesis. And it's just so satisfying to do that, so you're just like kind of invisible. Oh, I'm invisible. Shh. And then you see a camera and you're like, and the camera breaks down into tears. One could say each room full of people and maybe a security camera in one corner. So, for example, that didn't make sense, but I'll explain it. So you could project yourself into a room, and then you could use your projection to go onto a computer and use the computer to shut down the security camera, so you can go in and take out the people without the security camera noticing you. Throughout the levels you'll find computers and notes, much like this computer. It's just a monitor at the moment. So it enforces the desire to explore your environment. Where am I? Where do I fit? The story is involving. It makes you want to know what happened to Vatic and his comrades in Winter Ice as the whole conspiracy unravels. You're faced with a very cool twist at the end. Man, I love this twist. I did. I love the twist. It reminded me of watching Christopher Nolan movies. Vatic's character is likable enough, but nothing amazing. In fact, all the characters are just normal and boring, kind of. Like, they do their job. Like, they're just like, yeah, that's a character. The graphics are very good for the time. The polygons are very well-rounded. What could I say? It was the Xbox. It looked good. And it had that Free Radical animation, which I miss in gaming, to be honest. We need another Timesplitters game. For the Switch, preferably. Because I love my Switch, baby. I could eat my Switch like a cake. The music just has that nostalgic GoldenEye feeling. I love it personally. It's got that creepy, dark, sort of sneaky around, ominous sort of shit. And it's very atmospheric. It needs to make a comeback. So I need to make a shout out to Graham even, Norgate, who was the composer for this game and Timesplitters. He also worked on some music on GoldenEye. So he's now up there with the Kirkhope and the Beanland and even the Japanese guys, Koji Kondo and Nobuo Uematsu, who did Final Fantasy music. So he's kind of a god, really. Japanese music god. They're all up there, up in game music heaven. They're not dead. Just up in England and Japan. So I'm actually starting to work out what games I need to buy through seeing who the music composer is, because I'm starting to think they're just as important as a game developer, whoever made the game. So yeah, music's pretty cool. I just bought Oceanhorn for the Switch. It's shit. It's a shit game. But the music was great, and that was made by Nobuo Final Fantasy guy, and that was great. He gave it a lot of much needed decency. All in all, Second Sight is a game fun. All in all, Second Sight is a fun game. It tells a very interesting story with a great twist at the end. It's told by flashbacks and stuff like that. Should I spoil the story? I think I will. I'll spoil the story. I'll put up like a skip little text saying skip to this point if you don't want to hear the spoiler. I'll tell you the twist. Alright? Twist is coming in 3, 2, 1. The twist is, even though you play through flashbacks, they're not actually flashbacks. They are actually the real time that's happening now. So they're actually the present time you're playing through. Those flashbacks are the present time. And the time where he has all the psychic powers and all that stuff is actually a new psychic ability he doesn't realize he's learnt yet, called premonition. So he's premonizing those future, those what the game wants you to think are present moments. He's actually in the past thinking about those things, or knowing that they're gonna come. So the flashback time is the real time. That's the twist. I thought it was great. I liked it. So back to the review. Whew. So if you're interested in a stealth, sort of action-based stealth, it's got a bit of both in it for very cheap on the PS2, Gamecube, and Xbox. You should try it out. There's no game like it. It gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Why? Because it's my channel. Oh yeah, subscribe.